Okay, so the Serow. Tell you a little bit about this thing. This is a 1993 Yamaha XT225 Serow. Got about 5,500 on the clock. And the way I ended up with this bike is long ago when I had my first motorcycle, my Yamaha FZ6R. I had taken the MSF course and never actually ended up going to the DMV to get fully licensed. So, fast forward quite a few years, my brother decided to buy a Kawasaki Z125, and we both used that as a good excuse to finally get fully licensed. I had taught him basically how to ride a motorcycle, so he didn't really feel the need to take the course. So basically what we did is we went to the DMV, or the MVD I guess I should say, and we went and took the permit test, and we pretty much practiced. Well, he practiced, I just kind of, unrustified myself around the neighborhoods here while we broke the bike in, because it was brand new. And I was browsing around on Craigslist looking for a cheap bike that I could get for myself so that he and I could go riding around. And lo and behold, I see this bike on Craigslist, only about 10 minutes away from the MVD over in Mesa where we took our test. So we went to go look at it, and it checked out. This older gentleman had, I guess, previously worked for Yamaha, or a dealer who sold Yamahas. Can't remember exactly what he said about that. But this thing pretty much sat in his garage for, a while at a time. He said he would take it out every once in a while, go up to Globe, or just putting around in the dirt somewhere. And we settled on a price of, I think it was $1,700, so pretty cheap. Oh, I'm in sixth. This bike is so different from the SV. Anyway, so I bought it and rode it home immediately after getting my full motorcycle endorsement. Now, being that this was my second bike, obviously there wasn't really any learning period that I had to go through. I could pretty much just take this thing out and start sending it, albeit it does only have about 20 horsepower. But it's a fun little bike, and I've taken this thing all the way out to San Diego, which took about 9 hours with all the stops that we had to make. I've gone up to Canyon Lake, over that way. I've gone pretty much all around here. Found all kinds of trails to ride. It's been a fun little bike. I've ran out of gas once or twice. No big deal, because switch the petcock to reserve. It already came with this cup holder, but I put the quad lock and the USB charger, same one that I have on my SV. I've done some maintenance on this bike, not quite as much as I've done on the SV. This thing didn't really need a whole lot to get running. I did do a full LED conversion, so all the lights in the dash are LED, headlight, tail light LED, turn signals are LED. Got the turn signal, oh god, I can never remember what those things are called. Little box you plug in so it doesn't hyper flash the resistor. I got that. Changed the oil on it a couple times. I bought it with about 3,700 miles. So, I mean, I haven't even put 2,000 miles on the thing. And most of that was the San Diego trip. But it's nice to have a dirt bike. I guess you can call this a dirt bike. It's not too hot today. It's only about 96. This one's quite a bit easier to park too. It doesn't weigh so much. But yeah, here we are. I'll talk a little bit more about the bike on the way home. What's up, guys? We are finally off work. So let's get on out of here. Earlier today, I talked a little bit about the bike. Figured I didn't really give a little walk around to show you what she looks like. Don't worry, I have replacement stickers for these panels here. I just want to get them all cleaned up and repainted. This panel was missing when I bought it, so I had my buddy Tony 3D print this one. It's pretty strong. I had it made out of ASA, but I'll probably pay him to print me another one out of a little bit more flexible material, so it's more like the original plastic. Stock exhaust, but the core was hollowed out, so it's a little bit louder. Like I said, LEDs all the way around. Bright as fuck! eBay handguards, or actually Amazon handguards. I've done the brake pads. The original knob was chrome, but it fell off on the way to San Diego, so I had to buy one of these. This is actually for, I think, an RZ 350, but it's the same knob, just different color, so I may end up repainting that. Stock toolbox, that's pretty rare, but yeah, I mean, she runs like a top. Ugh. One thing I would like to do before I start actually taking this thing out is the master cylinder is quite tight, so I think I'll rebuild that. Let's see here. Let's lower that idle a little bit. There we go. That sounds a little bit better. All right. Whoa. And off we go. I remember to close my vent this time. I don't think I did so earlier today, so the footage might sound a little different. See if we can get over here. I will actually be putting new tires on this bike pretty soon. It does have the Pirelli MT90s on it currently, but they're about 8 or 9 years old, I think, maybe a little older. And the new tires I was looking at are the Dunlop 605s. Pretty similar concept tire, you know, like a 70/30, because I mostly ride this thing on the street as of now. But that will change as it cools down this year. I do plan on taking this thing out on some trails, and I've been thinking about taking up fishing again, as it's been quite a few years since I've gone out and done that, and it sounds like fun. So I figured I could strap a pole to this thing and take it out to some areas where you wouldn't be able to get to with a car. The one scary thing about riding with a dark visor at night is you never know. Like, I can see stuff in the road, but barely. But yeah, I mean, this bike is pretty good for what it is. Like, yeah, it's slow and old and carbureted, but some of the best bikes ever made are carbureted. Now, I will say the bright on this bike, even though it's the same LED bulb as my SV, something about the reflector housing seems to work better, because the bright, I just feel like it works better on this bike. But they both have a decently wide beam pattern. I did also remember to put pure video mode on for this ride from work, so you should be able to see.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh, come on. Still gotta get used to that clutch. I get so used to riding around on the SV every day, and that clutch has a totally different pull strength and bite point, that every time I get back on this thing it just feels like a new bike again, and it takes a second to get used to, but that's alright. The suspension probably needs a little bit of a rebuild given its age, so I'll probably end up doing the seals and oil and bushings and all that fun stuff, but this bike is definitely more comfortable to ride around in this area because of the softness. It's nice and supple on my buns. Brum. Oh, I can't tell if that's the front brake or the rear, because the front brake was changed, but I still need to get a new brake shoe. Slow. All right. We are almost home. I think it's the front, actually. I might need to go in there and grease up the backs of the pads and the little mounting clips, because I don't know. I'll have to try dragging on the rear brake here in a second and see if I can still get the thing to squeal. Can't see. Ooh, a little misshift there. I will say both of the bikes that I have some form of shifting issue. Ah, God, I love the steering lock on this thing. It's just... bah! Bah! So what? All right. Till the next one.